What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition, our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. I am joined once again by my faithful companions, the heroes of our campaign, Mr. Jumbo Smooth and Mr. Doobie 209. If you care to introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone, I'm Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf, your favorite punching bag. Get beat up all the time. Almost got killed by a tiger last episode.
You did. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
This is Doobie 209, and I playing Seamus McGreedy. And I just kind of sit around and watch Marius take all the damage, and I just kind of system from the back. You know,
it's just system from the rear.
Very true.
Yes, from the rear.
It's very.
I also have a fractured jaw, so you know.
You do fractured jaw and a point of exhaustion. Don't think I forgot. I remembered.
I was hoping you did.
So yes, indeed. So last we left off, our band of heroes, through some interesting rolls and a very somewhat cut and dry job, ended up in a mysterious realm, or who knows what, honestly, in a mysterious, strange land very far from the Empire, where they call home. You guys proceeded to have no idea what the hell you're doing. Seamus, you are having vague images and memories come back to you of this area, so you think you've probably been here before, and judging from the corpses of the men that you undoubtedly knew upon your re-entry into this land, you definitely were here, at least as far as you remember. The land is very strange, unusual. You guys have saw the ocean for the first time. You were also ambushed by elven corsairs, dark elf corsairs to be exact, on the beach, where a very lethal fight ensued. You left 3 of them for dead. 1 managed to escape from you, if you do remember. Shortly after that, after your grievous wounds suffered, you managed to find your way back into the kind of thick jungle-esque canopy of the forest nearby, and while being pursued or possibly stalked, since you entered into this land by some large creature, it inevitably finally showed itself and attacked you in the middle of the night. Did you take any damage, Seamus? Do you remember?
From the tiger, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you did, but I think you healed it after the end of the rest.
Yeah, I'm back to full health.
Yeah. So Marius took the brunt of it once again, as he was not warned of the incoming attack, and was pounced upon and mauled in his sleep. A very great moment, if I might add. You guys also did find some interesting stuff on the Corsairs I forgot about. You recovered some repeater crossbows. Very interesting items indeed. Before we start, did you guys split up the bolts? The special bolts that they require?
I think he had 10 extra. And I had 4, plus you said I had some in the chamber.
There's some in yours already, since you haven't fiddled with it. So you have 4, and then just the rest of them you have, Seamus. Just keep track of them, because they are different from your regular bolts. So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Okay. So you survived the attack. You actually recovered some coin. You both got a silver piece, though it is Bretonnian in make. Not sure why these elves have it. Wink, wink. Maybe, we know why, but Seamus and Marius probably don't know why. You then, after that, proceeded to attempt to find some semblance of civilization or what the hell you're doing here, and proceeded to follow a path, a well-traveled path, through also some not very good rolls, I might add, and ended up at a crossing of a bridge. There was a bridge over a stream, the same stream that you think might be coming from the very, very large mountain that's kind of sitting off by itself towards the center of this landmass. There is a wooden bridge held together by ropes, so a rope bridge. It's 20 feet wide. It's secured to large stone structures with some kind of blue and goldish kind of patterns wrapped around it and kind of laying across it, and candles and various things of that sort, feathers and whatnot decorating it. You were looking across the path, thinking about taking this bridge. It is also heavily wooded across on both sides of this stream. And you would have noticed before the events of the last episode that it looks like there is a drop down. This is a very tall. Apparently you guys have walked slightly uphill for the past couple hours, and you were elevated far above the beach floor where you were relatively above, maybe just a couple feet on the path that you previously. But you will know that you are at least 30 feet above the water. Across on the other side of the chasm, there is a wooden structure made out of bamboo, some of the unique wood that you've been finding recently. It is a wall. It's about a 12-foot wall with a kind of a gatehouse kind of structure built into it. Not very sophisticated in look, but if you guys had an engineer kind of engineer talent of some kind or something like that, you'd be able to know that it is very practical in use. While it may not be very sophisticated, it is very good at what it does. It's set up at the perfect choke point of this, and there is almost a double-sided structure to it to the inside where they can drop a gate. It looks like there's some kind of crude gate they can drop, and then there's also doors that were swung open. Two men with bows, strange-looking men that you have seen the corpses of before, never met one of them in person yet, had bows drawn in your direction. Then three men came through the open doorway, two with spears that you might remember, and then one that obviously was of more importance, wrapped in a skin of the very same beast, or a similar beast, that mauled you in the night, and a large kind of sword on his hip. They were currently yelling at you and trying to figure out what the hell you're doing at their town when Marius discovered something behind him. You discovered the approach of a figure coming out of the woods behind you in the path that you followed, wielding a unique sword with serrated edges and dark black armor, and of course a very interesting cloak, which you guys both possess now, of a deep blue, almost like the sea, with a metallic sheen to it, and of course a tall pointed head to match the almost between 6.5 to 7 foot tall structure of this creature, which you know to be a dark elf corsair. And that should about bring us up to speed. So with the scene set, Seamus, you have not seen this yet. Marius just glanced this over his shoulder. So what are you guys doing in this moment?
I'm gonna shout. And you'd be like, Seamus! Those things from the beach! Behind us! And I'll turn around with my pick.
Okay.
Drawn.
You draw your pick?
Towards the... Yeah.
Okay. Seamus...
Well, I turn around first, and then I... Well, my pick, yeah.
Okay. So you spin around quickly, like almost aggressively in your stance. Seamus, what are you doing?
Since he yelled it, I will turn around and see the creature and ready to crossbow.
Okay, so you spin around, Seamus, and as you spin around, you hear the yelling across from behind you now. I'm not going to do the voice again because it's extremely racist. So we're going to avoid that once again. I don't want to have to edit that out again. It was horrible. So you hear a voice yelling at you again, and then you hear the of bows being drawn back. Not sure what's going to happen at that point. At this point, you guys are pretty much ready for combat. Go ahead, real quick.
I was gonna say, can I kind of like shoot my hand and point it towards the forest? I guess it's a forest behind us.
Yes, there is the thick forest. Now you guys are on an open path, so you on each side of you. So this is about a 20-foot, well, probably 25-foot open part where the path moves through, and it's very heavily traveled, so it's very cleared. There's no dense foliage on this path. In fact, there's probably a few not cobblestones, but a few attempts at some kind of road being paved through here. You're not sure with what exactly, probably mud bricks of some kind that have kind of weathered into the ground. But so it's open up until the curve that you guys took, which was not very far because you just took that curve and then ended up seeing all this. This is coming out from around the curve through the woods, through the tree line. So it's probably going to be about 15, 20 feet from you at this moment.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to make my hand motion point towards the forest.
Point towards the forest. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Just to get them to look over there too, you know.
With that being said, go ahead and I need both of you to roll me initiative. Depending on what you guys do in the next moment will determine how far this goes.
Oh, gee. A 7 for me. Total.
Okay. How about you, Seamus?
I rolled a 4.
Okay. A 4. All right. You guys failed your perceptions tests on the way in here. At this point, because we're starting a new session,
I see one?
You saw one because of your new perception test, but you guys failed them on the way in, where people may have been hiding or perhaps stalking you. So, with that in mind, I'm going to allow, now that the alarm's been raised, I'm going to allow both of you to remake perception tests at this point to kind of get a lay of what's happening around you.
All right. And I'm at a -10.
Yeah, you're still at -10.
I rolled a 61 out of 30.
Yes, that's great. So how about you, Seamus?
I rolled a 68 out of 41.
Okay, do either of you want to re-roll that? You have fortune points.
Yeah, I'll burn mine. I got an extra one.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll that.
Let's see. Oh yeah, that is a 10.
Oh, okay. Critical? Well, nope, not a critical for this because that's not your weapon. But still really good. So that's 3 levels of success for you. All right. Seamus is, very characteristic of you. I mean, your jaw still hurts like hell, but you're not speaking at this point. You ready the repeater crossbow that you liberated from the elves on the beach, and you immediately see the one that is kind of halfway stepping out of the tree line towards Marius's direction with just hatred in his eyes. You then also notice, Seamus, further into the woods behind them, you see 3 more figures. Not very far behind the one in the lead. Then you notice off to your right, into the dense trees, 2 more figures. I'm starting to creep their way in your direction. You just barely get a glint off the top of one of their helmets, the metal giving it away. So that makes 5 that you can see. And then, because you rolled so well, and this guy didn't roll a very good stealth check, further to your left, actually, there is also another elf moving in your guys' direction that seems to be keeping his distance, and it looks like he has something in his hands. You can't tell what it is, but it's obviously not a sword. You're not sure what it is, though.
All right. Seeing all this, I will kind of like grab Marius by the shoulder and start to like backpedal onto that drawbridge, feeling outnumbered here.
Okay. Marius, are you willingly going with him?
I am.
Okay. All right. So you start moving in the direction of the bridge, and do you guys turn around, or you're just backing slowly, or how quick of movement is this?
I think
I'm backing up slowly.
I am too. Backing up slowly with my cloak kind of drawn in front of me.
You draw on your cloak? Okay.
Hell yeah!
So the one in the lead steps out into the open. And Marius, you recognize him immediately. He locks eyes with you. You notice that the armor on his leg has been piecemealed together where it was missing before, but he couldn't find replacement or fix the deep wounds that have been rent into the chest where a pick-like weapon has been thrust through them. And there is just malice burning through his eyes. And he just grins at you as you're backing away and says, "This isn't going to be nice either." And in that moment, I need both of you, since you have noticed them, to attempt to deflect bolts being launched in your direction.
Oh God!
All right.
All right.
I'll fight the shade.
All right. Marius, I need you to deflect 3 bolts, sir.
How do I do that?
So basically, these are essentially what this is your cloaks are count as shields. You guys are not proficient in shields, so it's just going to be a straight weapon skill. Now, this is more of a test than a opposed roll, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be rolling just to see if they even hit you. Period. And then if any of them hit, we'll use your test to determine if you block it or if they bypass it.
Okay.
All right. So out of the 3, I need you to roll 3 tests, sir, because they all hit.
Oh, gee. Okay. First one, this is straight weapon skill, right?
Straight weapon skill.
Weapon skill. Okay. 16 out of 33, the first one.
Okay. Next one.
Next one is, that's bad, 64 out of 33.
Do you want to re-roll it?
Well, can I roll the other one first and then decide?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Third final one.
Go ahead.
That one is a 13 out of 33.
Okay. All right.
And I will re-roll the last one.
All right.
The middle one. Just
Yeah.
That one's a 25 out of 33.
Okay. So 3 bolts come just come flying in your direction, Marius, and you're aware. And Seamus, you watch in like mute horror as you see this unfolding. Marius, you don't actually see the people shooting at you. You just see, all of a sudden you hear thunk, 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 and you're just so used to being basically pincushioned that you've become kind of unnaturally aware of what is happening. And you gather up the cloak like you saw the elf do when you deflected your dagger, and you pull it in front of you, and all but one of the bolts are deflected out of the way. One manages to pierce underneath, strike you in your left leg. For
Oh, no, I don't have any armor there.
11 points of damage.
Ooh, all right.
You can subtract your toughness bonus. So you take a bolt in the leg as it pierces through your thigh, blood starting to gather.
Is it a bolt from the guy who?
No, he's not holding a crossbow.
Oh, okay.
He's holding both of his swords, and he's still just grinning at you as you just deflected these. Now I will say this: they technically hit you, if that makes any sense. So even if you guys deflect a bolt, it still hits you. Kind of like how if you guys are hit and it doesn't penetrate your armor, it still counts as a hit, so it still would negate any momentum you might have gathered.
Momentum.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just keep that in mind. So you reel back as you deflected two of them. This could have been a much worse situation, but you still took one in the leg. Seamus, I need you to attempt to... Let me see how many... There's 2 bolts being shot at you that you see coming off from the right.
All right.
And I need you to... One of them flies wide, very wide, goes right past your head, thuds into one of the nearby trees. The second, however, is aiming true, so I need you to roll defense for that one.
All right. It's a agility.
No. This is going to be a weapon skill. Straight weapon skill.
Okay. All right.
Minus 10 for you.
That's a 50.
Oh,
Outside.
yes. Do you want to re-roll it?
Weapon skill.
Or actually...
No, I've already burned one.
Well, what's yours? Is it at 41, your weapon skill?
My weapon skill is a 35.
Oh, that's right. Yep, because this isn't your dagger. You want to re-roll it, or you want to take it?
I'm going to take it.
Okay.
I've already
All
burned
right.
one.
All right. This hits you. All right. Similar to Marius, you throw the shield up instinctively, hoping that you're going to deflect something. You see Marius do this, and it also penetrates just below where you have the cloak, and it digs in to your left calf area for 12 points of damage.
Oh my lord.
So you can subtract your toughness bonus, but you take the rest of that in wounds. Mm-hmm. And Seamus, Marius doesn't see him. You see the elf off to the left, slowly closing his distance. He's about 30 feet from you through the kind of dense woods. He's not making a sound. He's very stealthy. And you guys can both hear the screaming of the men behind you at this point. Seamus, I believe you didn't do so well on your initiative. So Marius, you're actually first at this point. What would you like to do?
Okay. I guess we're still kind of in the process of backing up.
So
are we on the bridge now?
So at this point, you've made it to the bridge. You will have to take steps behind you. If you remember correctly, the planks are well worn, and they are not spaced perfectly together. So stepping backwards onto them might not be a good idea, but you can always attempt it.
Mm-hmm. Once I get to the bridge, I might make a dash across it.
Okay, so you get to the bridge. So you spin around to see behind you. Seamus is just in front of you with his crossbow raised back at this point. You both have bolts in your legs. You spin around, and you immediately see the chasm beneath you with a 30-foot drop down to the water. The water's moving pretty swiftly. You look out to your left, down, and that's going downstream, and it appears that it funnels out to the ocean. You can see about a mile or so from where you're at. You can see the ocean in the near distance. So this stream definitely funnels out towards there. And you begin to cross the bridge, and the people are screaming at you at this point. And they don't loose arrows at you, but the three figures, seeing the encroaching danger behind you, quickly back up through the portcullis and the doors and begin closing them.
Oh, shit. Does it look like, if I try to make like an educated guess, would we be able to make it, like if we were to run, or is it too far?
Making a run across this bridge is going to require a test if you're going to run.
Yeah.
It is considered it's considered difficult terrain, so it basically halves your movement. If you're being subtle, you can move your full movement, make it across this bridge and to that door, but it's going to require a test.
Okay. Probably because you said we were against like 8 elves, right? Like
if you are against,
and there's 6.
There's, I believe, I told Seamus, so. You don't know that. Marius only knows that he almost got shot by at least 3, and he saw 1 standing there, so he knows there's at least 4.
Yeah. I'm going to run across the bridge. Why not? You know?
Okay. Make me that athletics test, sir.
All right. Ooh, that's bad. I might have to re-roll that. So 79 is what I rolled.
All right. Go and re-roll it.
All right. I'm going to re-roll that. Burn my second fortune for the night. That's much better. That's going to be 12 out of 26.
12 out of 26. Okay, so you seen the doors about to close. They're almost closed at this point. The men are screaming to each other, and the guy with the sword is kind of just pointing and yelling. And you begin running across, dashing towards this door. You easily are running across the kind of uneven planks, just full-on dash trying to get across here. You get about halfway when the man behind the wall, behind the closing door, just locks eyes with you, and then he looks up at the archers above and nods his head. Mm-hmm. And I need you to roll for defense or attempt to dodge or something, as 2 arrows are loosed from above in your direction now.
Jesus.
I guess I'll try to do defense, I guess, is probably a better stat for me.
Let's attempt this.
All right. That's a 13 out of 33.
Okay, you bring the cloak up, and I will say, even as at a full sprint, you're taking arrow fire as you're running. One of them plinks off of your shoulder as you defend against it. I need you to roll one more.
All right. Less good. That one's 49 out of 33.
Okay, and this guy is a very adept, maybe possibly a local hunter of some kind. He appears to be very skilled with his bow. So skilled that he lands a critical hit on Marius Wolf.
Oh, shit.
Let me roll my D100. All right, 70. It's a body shot. If you want, this is a body shot. You can negate the critical and all the negatives that come with it if you allow it to shred the leather armor you're wearing.
Oh, you bastard.
You can, or you can just take it. It's up to you.
I think I'll have to get the shred.
Okay.
The armor.
So
Pretty
it
low.
hits you. It hits you for because it was a critical and he rolled so well. 13 points of damage. Which you can use your armor to guard you, but it's gone after this attack.
Broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it shreds 1 point of armor, and unfortunately, your leather is only 1 point of armor. So
Yeah.
it pierces into you. Yes, and because you got a hit, and you're on this rickety bridge, I need you to roll me another athletics test to attempt to keep your footing.
Damn it. That is a 23 out of 26.
Oh, just barely. So you stumble. And you catch your feeding as one of the planks actually busts loose from underneath you. And you feel it just give way. And there's that instance of almost no gravity underneath you as you know you're falling. And you manage to latch on to the ropes and keep your balance and hoist yourself back up. But you have not made it to the end of the bridge. You're eerily close, but you're not quite there. You're probably within like 10 feet of the doorway that's closing at this point. Seamus, it is now your turn. Unless, Marius, you'd like to do something with your free action.
I'm just trying to like wave my hands like, towards the fortress.
Go ahead and make me an intuition test since you don't speak their language.
Okay. That's bad. A 78 out of 24.
Okay, so all you do is you see the archers. They visibly look a little on edge. Obviously, they just shot you, but they're drawing their bows back and they're aiming at you again, seeing what you're going to do. But it doesn't look like from your vantage point. Now, from your vantage point, you can't tell. You don't know what's going to happen. Okay. You might have death rained upon you. Seamus, it is now your turn, sir. You hear Marius give out a grunt of pain as he's running across the bridge. You see the Dark Elves closing quickly on your position. What would you like to do?
I'm going to follow suit, run across the bridge, and see him struggling and try and grab him and help him pull across.
Okay. As you turn around, you are on the precipice of this bridge, and you look down. It's a big drop, and there's flowing water. Need you to make me a cool test, Seamus. At -10 because of your exhaustion.
Fuck. That's a 77, so I'm gonna.
That's a critical failure? You gonna re-roll that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Alright, let's do this again. It's still a failure, but it's not a critical failure. It's 63.
60. How many degrees?
It's a -10, so that puts me at a 29.
Okay. So that is...
About 4 degrees.
4 degrees. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
You
not fun.
You are gripped with panic at the sight of this flowing water. It just brings back a flood of memories of childhood, of you nearly drowning in a very similar, though not as rapid stream as this. And you feel just a clutch in your heart, and you are inflicted with the fear condition. You have the fear condition of moving in the direction of the bridge, but you can use your resolve to overcome and just use your drive as the hero that you strive to be to push your way through this if you so choose.
Yes.
Okay, so
I
you burn a
choose to
point of
do
resolve. Yeah, you get you kind of gird your loins, pull yourself together, and I'm going to need you to make an athletics test to get to Marius and attempt to help him.
All right.
At -10.
Ooh. Damn. -10 killed me. I rolled a 22, but the -10 will put me at a athletics agility a 17.
Okay, so
failure.
what you can do, you can use your fortune point to add a success level. So
Okay.
that would just make it just a straight success if you'd like.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you barely succeed instead of the critical failure, which probably would have ended up possibly in that river. So you. So you after this is just a terrifying experience for you, and you kind of get that resolve going and start moving across the bridge, and you get to where Marius is. You help him with his foot, and that is about as far as you can go. Would you like to do anything with your free action?
No.
Okay. With your well, that's because you used your action, so you can't break free of your fear yet. And it's going to require you an action to try to shrug it off. So, all right, that is it. It is now the Corsairs' turns. So, at this point, Marius, do you guys look behind you, or are you still focused on trying to get through this door?
If I'm standing up, I guess, half cocked, kind of looking back a little bit.
Yeah, you're both on this
See where
bridge,
they are.
and this bridge can accommodate two people. It's not like a really tight rope bridge, but though it does appear to be treacherous, you glance behind you, and you see the just broad smile of the man you attempted to murder on the breach, the elf. And he glances behind him, raises his fist, and closes it. And I need both of you to attempt to defend yourself once again from incoming bolts from the woods. Seamus, you kind of have an idea of where they're coming from. Marius, you have no idea where all these bolts are coming from. They're just in the wooded area. Marius, once again, let's see how many you have to defend from.
All right.
I rolled very poorly. So you bring up the cloak once again, instinctively, and thunk, 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 thunk. The bolts pass around you, just barely skimming by, and they are you hear them reverberate against the wall behind you. The structure you're attempting to get past. Seamus, let's see here. All right, I need you to defend yourself, sir.
All right. I failed at that defense. I rolled a 75.
All right. Do you want to burn your last fortune point?
No, we're only like 30 minutes into this. I'm not burning that.
Alrighty then. All right. So you also, and it's hard to see where these are coming from because they're in the wooded area. You have no idea how the hell they're shooting you so well through the dense forest, but they appear to be much more adept marksmen than the ones you faced on the beach. Let's see here how much damage this rolls for. Seamus, you see the bolt. You just see just a glimpse of it as it passes underneath the cloak. You don't kind of get it all the way in place quick enough, and it slams center mass into your chest for 14 points of damage.
All right.
You can negate it with your armor and your toughness, so just keep that in mind. But it does penetrate into the flesh underneath. So you both have taken significant damage at this point, and the elf across the way, Marius, just calls out to you. Are we having fun yet? Marius, it's your turn.
All right. Well, Marius kind of peeks down from his cloak, and he yells back across to him. I see you brought your friends there, fucker. And then I give him the bird, and then I run back and try to keep on running across the
At this point, you turn around, and the guys still have their bows raised at you, above you. And you see the gate close. And your last vestige of hope is dashed.
Closed completely?
It's closed. The gate is closed. They closed it as quickly as they could. And unfortunately, I rolled pretty well. And the gate is closed. And you hear a bar slide into place behind it, or some kind of wood or something. It is definitely closed and very sturdy.
All right.
What are you doing?
So, is there anything else across the bridge?
Okay, so there's
avenue of escape.
There's a little bit of space, where but before you get to the wall on each side, it is dense with trees, but there's about probably a 2 to 3 foot space that you might try to shimmy your way through and take cover, and try to sneak your way around, possibly. There's always the option of attempting to jump into the river. Or, I mean, I guess you could... It's about 30 feet into the water. Into the water. So, that's always an option. There's also... You could attempt to climb this wall. It's about 12 feet tall, but it's made out of bamboo. You could probably get some decent holds if you'd like. Yeah, or, I mean, I guess you could attempt to run across the bridge and face these dark elves. There's always that option.
We're kind of in the middle of the bridge right now.
You're almost to the other side. You're within like 10, probably 5 feet at this point of being off this bridge. And then you're on the other side of the bridge at this point. And then it's another 10 feet to the door that is closed at this point.
I see. So I want to look down. I'm kind of looking down here.
Mm-hmm.
The river below.
Yes.
You said 30 feet down.
30 feet.
Is it a large river? Like, if I feel like I jump in it, am I hitting rocks?
Go ahead and make me a perception test. Or, you know what? Yeah. Or you can use outdoor survival. I'll let you use that if you want. Whichever one's better.
Okay. I'll use that.
Okay.
It's 36 out of 41.
Okay, so a success. The river's wide. It's one of the... It's not the River Soul that you might have seen or at least heard stories about. Appears to be larger than this, but this is a very swift-moving river. And you don't see any like rocks jutting out from underneath here. You get the idea that this is a decently deep stream. It is fast-moving.
Yeah.
But you don't think with that roll. You don't. Go ahead.
Okay. Could I toss Seamus in and jump after him?
You could make the attempt. He is going to. I will say this: with his fear, he's probably going to resist.
Yeah. That's why I'm going to try to do it because I don't know if he'll jump if I jump.
Okay. So. All right, go ahead. And so this is what we're doing. We're attempting to jump in this river, off this bridge.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, and I need you to make a attack against Seamus. straight weapon skill. And Seamus, I need you to attempt a dodge.
All right.
That's pretty good for me. I rolled a 5 out of 33.
Okay. How about you, Seamus?
I rolled a 44 out of 17.
Critical failure. So, Seamus, you kind of see Marius get this look in his eye, this kind of gleam, and he's just desperate at this point. And without you even realizing it, he grabs a hold of you. And Marius, what are you doing? Are you just launching in, or are you tossing him in?
I'm probably gonna kind of grab him and kind of tilt us both over and just kind of make us fall in, you know.
Okay. So there's plenty of.
When I grab him, I'm gonna say, "We gotta do this, old chap," and just kind of push him over.
All right. Let me look up the conditions for drowning real quick. Let's see here.
Oh boy.
Do I have drowning? Might have to look it up. Yeah, I might have to look it up. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. So you launch yourself off the bridge, and you see at Marius, if you're looking over in the direction of the elf, you see his smile just kind of go flat as he realizes what you're doing, and he reaches out a hand. He's like, "No!" And you jump off the bridge, plummeting 30 feet into the fast-moving liquid below. Seamus, you are in morbid terror at this point. Your resolve was broken at the launch off of this bridge. I'll give you your turn in a second. We'll see how this goes. So, Marius, you hit the water. I need you to roll me a d10, sir.
All right, D10. Here we go. 1.
You take 1 wound from smacking into the water. So does Seamus. You just take take this. It bypasses everything.
Okay.
It could have been worse. You could have actually hit something. So you just from the impact of the water, from it being so far down, and you're wearing armor and everything else, so it wasn't a very graceful fall. Yeah. You hit the water and you plunge underneath. At this point, Marius, I'm going to need you to make a swim test. You have the swim skill. But I'm going to need you to make a test to attempt to help Seamus, because he does not have the swim skill, and he is probably going to drown without your help.
All right, let's do this. Just roll straight roll.
Whatever your swim is.
Okay. That is a 50 out of 61.
Whoo, shit. Okay, good. So
Damn.
you managed to keep a hold on Seamus, and even though it's moving rapidly, the water is just moving very quickly, and you kind of hit the bottom of the stream. You kind of feel yourself hit the bottom, and you push up, and your head breaches the surface. So does Seamus, and you just big deep breath. You definitely have, both of you have water in your lungs from this harrowing experience that just took place, and you're being moved at a very rapid pace towards the ocean ahead of you that you can see. That would probably be the end of your turn. Seamus, you are in a horrible situation.
Sounds like it.
Your fear has been reinstated. And if anything, you have 2 fear conditions now, because you are actually in the water. The only person you can hold on to is Marius Wolf, his very strong, muscular arms comforting you in your time of need.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will need you to make me a cool test, at, let's see here. You're at minus 10 plus the fear condition, so you're at minus 30 for your cool test.
All right. Let's hope for a really low number. A 35 out of 9.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So, essentially, this is what happens. Seamus starts panicking. Just a full-on panic. You get the idea that his mind is breaking, and he doesn't know how to swim, and he's just flailing around, and you're starting to lose your grip on him.
Okay.
All right. At this point, it is your turn, Marius. You are still floating down the river, very fast pace, I might add, and you see that there's, as you're looking farther out, and Seamus is just panicking, arms flailing around at his sides. It appears that he's just lost all train of thought. He's in that survival mode, and he's trying to flail his way out of the water despite knowing how to swim. I'm going to need you to make a strength check to hold on to him, and then we will see what you see here in the near future.
Okay. Okay. Not swim, strength.
This will be a strength check just to hold on to Seamus.
Ooh, damn. That's a 5 out of 55.
Ooh.
Okay. You easily, despite his wiggling around, it's like a small child. He's just so feeble and weak and broken, and you just have him wrapped up, and he's not getting away from you. You just flex your one arm, and he there's no way he can't get away from you. He's held tight by your rippling biceps. Go ahead and make me a intuition test.
Ugh. Not too bad. 21 out of 24.
Okay, so you don't know a lot about water, but you look out and you get the idea that you're not above the you're very far above the tree line. You can kind of see, and it looks like there's a bit of a dip up ahead. There's a waterfall up ahead.
Shit.
You have no idea how far down it goes.
Yeah.
It's fast approaching.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
How far have we moved? Pretty far from.
You've moved a
point.
significant distance. You guys are moving the equivalent of, let's see here, 80 feet per round.
Okay.
So you're moving fast. The elves, you can't see up. It's too far up for you to see. You can see that the clearing above you, it angles down towards the waterfall, and you get the idea that there's a crest here, and the tree line meets the edge, and then it dips down further into what you're assuming is probably the ocean below, almost like a cliff face. So they can't get to you for now.
Is there a way I can try to swim to the side?
Okay, you were
Too strong.
You're in a ravine. You can attempt to swim to the side. It's going to be difficult to hold on to anything. There are a few small
ravine. Okay.
Yeah, like you're deep. You're in this ravine. There's still you're in like a cliff face on both sides. There might be something you can grab a hold of. We'll see. But go ahead and make me that swim test.
Okay.
And this is going to be an extended swim test. I'm going to tell you you're going to need 4 levels of success to make it to the edge.
Touchy. Okay. Here we go.
You only have 2 turns to do this in.
Okay. First roll is a 39 out of 61.
Okay, so that is 39, 40.
2.
So two levels. So which shore are you swimming towards? To the left or the right? The left, the opposite of the elves.
Yes.
Okay, so you're swimming kind of where the settlement was, the human settlement. Okay.
Yeah.
So you cover half the distance to the shore, still holding on to Seamus. You get to that point. Seamus, my force of chaos in this situation. I'm going to leave it up to you. You can either make me a dodge to try to slip out of Marius's grip, a strength to try to force your way out of his grip, or you can just proceed to succumb to your madness, and we'll just strip some more sanity from you, further breaking you with your fear tests.
So, you're probably not. You're not going to tell me what happens if I slip from his grip.
I'm not going to tell you.
Am I got to because I can't make my own swim tests.
Nope, you can't make your swim test.
I don't have
But
the skill.
you're in a mode of this is complete terror and panic right now. So you can use a resolve point to make this test easier. But I'll let you know how bad you do. So.
I would assume my character is just flailing around madly
Yes.
in the water right now.
Yes.
So I would probably go with just a strength roll.
Okay.
Because I'm probably just flailing like a madman.
All right. Strength off. Marius, you roll against him.
Oh, okay. Does he roll at minus 10?
Yeah, minus 10, minus 20, minus 30.
You are at minus 40, Seamus.
Jeez.
You can use a point of resolve to try to make it at minus 30, but it's up to you.
I'm running low on all kinds of points. Alright, I'll stick with this minus 40.
Okay, got it.
Maybe I'll get a critical success out of this somehow.
I rolled a 43 out of 55.
Okay.
I rolled a 43, but it's going to be a failure.
Okay, yes. All right. So you make a feeble attempt to break free of Marius's ironclad grip, and you further receive another fear condition. At this time, now you are broken. Your mind is not your own. You have to flee unwillingly. As much as you can, you have to attempt to flee from the situation. Okay. Just keep that in mind. So there's one more turn to go. So no matter what, the next turn, you are going to attempt to get out of here in some way. So Marius, it is now your turn.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel Seamus is he's beyond panic at this point. Holding on to him is very, very straining. I'm going to need you to make me a swim test to attempt to hold on to him and keep yourself afloat.
Okay. Oh, fuck. That's a 2 out of 61.
Damn, dude. Okay, so you easily are keeping your head above water and holding on to Seamus, and even in his panic state, you're not letting either of you get weighted down by your armor and everything. You know that it's going to be over soon, one way or another. So go ahead and make me one more test to try to get to the edge.
Okay. That is a 41 out of 61.
2 levels of success, which puts you at 4 levels of success.
Yep.
So at the last possible moment, you begin swimming towards the edge, And you can hear now, both of you can hear the water starting to churn angrily. And you glance over, and Seamus, you're in a sheer panic at what's happening. You know what's up ahead. There's definitely another drop of some kind. Marius, clutching onto Seamus, you reach out, and you see that there's like a branch, a low-hanging branch, right next to the edge. Like you're probably going to have to use the momentum of your fall to grab onto it.
Oh, gee.
It's in this moment as you're passing over. Seamus, I need you to attempt to break free of Marius's grip in your terror. Because you are broken. This will be let's see here. Let me look up the rules for that. All right. You are essentially in a frenzied state. So, all the psychology modifiers are gone. They're immediately lifted. So you are no longer at minus 30. I need you to either attempt to squirm out of his grasp or make another strength check to get away from him.
Alright, my strength is higher, so I'm going to go with that.
All right.
That is a 62 out of 30.
Out of 30. Okay. Unfortunately, in your frenzied state, you get your strength bonus doubled. So actually, it's a success. Marius, I'll need you to attempt to hold on to Seamus.
Okay.
And you're still reaching out for the limb. So it's going to be a very hard test. So you're at minus 30, sir.
I'm at minus 30. Okay. So mine would be a 25 out of 55. Or no, that'd be 25 out of minus 30. But that'd be 25.
You just made it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, so Seamus in this burst of just sheer he is going to get away from you. He is going to get out of this situation. He doesn't realize that he is probably going to plummet to his death. You hold on to him with one arm, right arm. You lunge over and you crest the waterfall and you look down. It's easily 100 feet down to the bottom of this waterfall. And you see jagged rocks at the bottom where the water is churning. And there's just empty space as you both tumble over the edge. Marius, you reach out your hand and you just barely grasp onto this branch with one hand. Are you going to pull yourself up, or how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Because you only have one hand on this branch.
Is Seamus still in my grasp?
He is in your grasp in one arm.
Okay.
You still have him, but you have one hand on this branch as well, and that is all that is keeping you up right now.
Is there like a place where I can swing him over and throw him onto it?
Okay, so essentially, I mean, this is the edge of a cliff. This is not a good situation.
Doesn't seem like it.
You look you look over at the branch you're holding, and there's a bit of an outcropping of the rock that you might be able to, if you pulled yourself up, you might be able to drag Seamus with you. It's going to be difficult one-handed, obviously, but I mean, you're Marius Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, I am Marius Wolf. Let's do the strength style.
Okay. Go ahead and make me that test at minus 30, sir. Very difficult test.
Boy.
If you
Right.
your other option is you could drop Seamus and it'd be an easy test.
Oh, interesting.
If you'd like. I mean, that's up to you.
No, I don't think we're
Okay.
gonna do that. Here we go. Here we go. Well, that is going to be an 11 out of
No, it is not.
25.
No, it is
Yes,
not.
it is, sir.
It's not fucking possible.
Ah, sorry.
Oh, damn it.
That's what the dice say.
Okay, fine. So, I mean, you're Marius Wolf. It's true. So you use your momentum holding on to this tree branch, and you swing towards the cliff face. So you're out of the water at this point. You plant your feet onto the side, still clutching onto Seamus, and almost like parkour style, with your one left bulging bicep straining, you and you use the momentum to launch yourself up and grab on to the next branch. And then you're the next branch up, and you see that there is there's an edge right here, and you're able to, with your critical success, get your elbow up on top of the rock, and then very slowly, still holding on to Seamus as he's bucking and kicking, pull yourself up onto it, and then slough Seamus onto the cliffside, and then roll onto the very firm, very wanted and needed solid surface. Just laying there. And now I will also need you to make me an endurance test at -30.
Oh, Jesus. All right. No, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it one bit.
Don't you? It's not possible.
It's going to be a 1 out of 30.
It's not possible. It's
Yeah,
not possible.
that's what it is.
So, a normal human being would be overcome with exhaustion at this point after what just happened. Marius Wolf, however, is not a normal human being, apparently. He takes this in stride and just, and then you sit up and you're none the worse for wear after all that just transpired.
Sounds good. I like it.
Okay, that is it. Damn it. Okay, you guys you've made it. Yeah, somehow, some way, you made it out of the grasp of the elves, and are now somewhat stranded on the side of this cliff. We'll see what happens.
I was about to say.
So, what are you guys doing in this moment? I will say, Seamus, go ahead and make me a cool test.
All right. Yeah, I imagine I'm probably hyperventilating right now.
Oh, yeah, you're in a sheer panic. This will be just a straight test.
Oh boy, an 87 out of 39.
Okay,
Oh.
so Seamus
Mary's getting all the
Seamus.
low ones.
Yep, Seamus is he is distraught. He's not recovering. You can tell that he's just shooken. He essentially is in a stunned condition. Multiple stunned conditions. You have no idea when he's going to snap to.
Can I, like, grab him and shake him and be like, Seamus, get a hold of yourself.
Go ahead and
We're fine, friend. We're fine.
is this more of a charm or is this a intimidation?
I was thinking this is more of a leadership.
Leadership. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and you can use leadership. Try to rally the troops. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. It was close. It was a 46 out of 37.
It's a failure. It's a failure. A failure. So
Yeah.
So Seamus, you're in a stupor, and Marius, you have no idea when he's going to recover. He looks badly injured.
Okay.
You see 2 bolts. You also still have a bolt sticking out of your leg that I probably should have given you disadvantage on your swim test for, but that's besides the point.
Too late.
It's too late now. You've already made it through. So, damn it. But you guys are in rough shape, both of you, at this point. Had a very life or death situation pass, and you don't know when he's going to snap to. He's just kind of shaking and just not moving.
Yeah. You said we're on a cliff right now, though, right?
You're on like a cliff. Go ahead and give me a perception test.
Ugh. All right. Fuck. That's a 99 out of
Yes.
critical
Fuck.
fail.
Yes. You want to re-roll it?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna re-roll this
Go
one.
and burn that fortune point. Come on.
All right. All right, that's a little better. It's 22 out of 30.
Okay. A critical success. This isn't fucking
Yes.
possible. It's not.
Sorry, bro.
It's not mathematically possible.
What's happening, bro?
Oh my god. I feel like your dice is weighted. I need you to use another dice from now on.
What's
This
weighted?
is ridiculous. It's weighted. Okay, so with your critical success yet again on a perception test, you look around at your surroundings, and first off, you can see far below you. This is a beautiful scenery around you. The sun is starting to go down at this point. It's not all the way down yet, but you can see down below you, and like I said, there's about 100-foot drop off the side here. You don't know when you got up this high, or perhaps the beach just keeps descending lower. You're not used to the terrain around here, so you're not sure about the geography of this land that you're in. But you can see just an infinite distance out into the ocean from where you're standing. And it's very reminiscent of the scenery you had when you first entered up on the mountaintop. It's just beautifully laid out before you. And you see out in the distance of the ocean, with your critical fucking success, you see a black shape. If you put up your thumb, it's about the size of your thumb. But it's an impossible distance away. You're not exactly sure what it is, but you see something out there.
Okay.
Then you look back over your shoulder, back at the cliff face, and you see that there is apparently just another probably 15 to 20 feet up. There's another shelf, and you think that might be the top. And you think that if you can climb up there, you might be able to get up and possibly get to that settlement, or at least get out of the predicament you're in currently.
Okay. Well, we're kind of hidden right now, right? Like
you are. Yes, you're very well hidden. You're next to the flowing, and it's extremely loud as well. I need to mention that it's very loud right here at the lip of where this river is flowing, a cascading waterfall down, very, very far down, and you are definitely hidden from view. Go ahead and make me an intelligence test.
All right. That's a 25 out of 36.
Okay, so you definitely, from the angle, you kind of look up and you kind of glance out without risking yourself falling into the into the very, very long drop down. you kind of glance up and you don't see anybody pursuing you. By now, if somebody was pursuing you, they probably might have been able to catch up or at least see where you are. But given the angle and how you barely escaped from where you are, you don't think that that the elves will have any idea where you're at. In their minds, you probably just fell to your death.
All right. Probably just gonna kind of pat Seamus on the chest and be like, let's just wait here, Seamus. Wait here for about an hour or so. Rest up a little. I kind of just want to take a short rest, if I can, like an hour rest on this kind of cliff.
All right.
Catch your breath.
Yeah, no problem. The sun is starting to set, but you kind of make yourself comfortable. And Seamus, after about 30 minutes with your horrible tests, you finally come out of your stupor. You finally gain control of your body, and you are the master of your will once again, though severely shaken at what just transpired. And most of it you don't even remember. Like your mind is blocking it out. You have no idea how you ended up where you are, and you're still terrified of just the idea of falling into that into the drink below. But you are the master of yourself once again, so feel free to engage in any way you'd like to.
All right, with my fractured jaw still.
With your fractured jaw, so there is that. Have you been keeping track of the days?
Yeah, I think we're on like day 4 right now.
Okay, day 4. Day 4. All right, yes. So we got quite a ways to go on that. But so at this point, you guys are going to take a short rest. Are you going to attempt to remove the bolts from your bodies?
I think I have to take a short rest first before I attempt to.
Okay. All right. How about you, Seamus?
Yeah, I'm pretty low on health, so I'll probably wait.
Okay. So you guys both take a short rest. You're sitting there with these bolts sticking out of your body. You take about an hour or so. Probably not the healthiest thing with sharpened metal sticking out of you and blood, and then you're kind of in a damp situation. Oh man, I'm gonna need you guys to make me endurance tests at -20.
At -20?
Yeah,
gee,
-30 for Seamus because he's still at -10 for his exhaustion.
Oh, gee. I rolled a 35 out of... What's my... Out of 20, you said? Out of 40.
35 out of 40. Okay, so you're okay. How about you, Seamus?
I rolled a 26, and I'm at -20.
You're at -30.
-30, all right. So that would be a 26 out of 25.
Oh, 1 point short?
Damn it.
Oh, man. Okay. Luckily for you, I'm a benevolent deity.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
I tell you what
you've been so kind.
I'll tell you what I'll do for you, Seamus. I'll give you that 1 point. But the next time we're on watch, I need you to take a little nap. It's up to you. You can either risk the infection that might ensue, or you can make a little deal with me. Just a
Can I use my container to clean and disinfect wounds?
Possibly. It's you're not exactly sure how this works, but there's a possibility.
Yeah, I'll avoid taking a nap on watch, so I can I'll risk the infection.
All right, you feel, especially, it's the bolt in your leg specifically. It's very deep, and through the grime of the river and your current conditions where you're sitting, you feel just a burning sensation in your left calf where it's hammered through. And you can see that the flesh is starting to become very irritated as you kind of peel back your clothing and look at it. And you get the idea that you are the proud owner of an infection of some kind, as yet to be determined. We'll see what it ends up being. But right now, it doesn't look good. So you guys both get your toughness bonus back in wounds at this point.
All right.
Now, would you like to remove the bolts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, how are we doing this?
The way Mary says everything.
You just going to go strength, or are you going to go? Are you going to attempt to remove them carefully at first?
I'll attempt to move carefully at first, and then I'll go strength.
So are you going with Seamus's or with yourself?
I assume myself.
Okay, you're doing your own. So give me that intelligence roll -10.
Okay. That's a 30. 26.
30 out of 26.
Yeah.
Okay, so you attempt to move it. You attempt to remove it gently, and it's not. It's in there too deep. It's going to require some strength.
All right. I got that. Here we go. That one is a 46 out of 55.
Okay, so that's not a degree of success. You're lucky, but you're still strong as hell. 5 wounds, sir.
Oof. Can I deduct my toughness bonus?
You know what? I'll let you do that, but you're going to at least take 1 wound no matter what.
Okay.
So that'll just be 1 wound for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you yank the bolt free. It's like, oh, God. Yank it free.
Sigmar's balls!
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You can see that the tip was buried deep in your leg, and it looks like it's kind of destroyed in a little bit. You might have a little bit of something left in your leg, but you think you got it all out. Drop it at your feet. And then I'm assuming you're going to look at Seamus, or Seamus, are you going to look at yourself?
I'm going to look at myself and try to pull it out slowly and carefully.
Okay, give me an intelligence test at -20 for you because you're still exhausted.
Oh, shoot, I want me to take a look at that Seamus. You know, I got the delicate touch.
Too late, I already rolled.
What do we got?
I rolled a 4.
Oh,
damn it!
Shit.
Okay, how many levels of success is that?
At a -20, it puts me at 21, so that's...
Okay, so it's one level. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll allow you to use this for both bolts, since it's 1 level, and you carefully, gingerly, pull the bolt out of your chest. It was in an inch or 2, a few inches into the flesh. Doesn't appear to have hit any bone or anything, but it still hurts like hell. Then you move to the one on your leg, which appears to be festering, and it just looks red and angry and painful to the touch. And you're extra careful with this one, and you kind of wiggle it back and forth. It hurts like hell, and then you manage to pull it free. And the blood is thick and congealing in the wound, and it was deep, very deep. But you pull it out, and that's it.
All right. Looking at that wound, I'm going to pull out that container I was given.
Okay.
Is this a powder or is it like a liquid or a gel?
It is like almost like a powder. It's a powder of some kind. You're not exactly sure what it is. You had the idea that if you remember correctly, that you might have known something similar that was found in the Empire at some point by some crazy wandering merchant that your father may have robbed. And so you think you know what it is, but you're not exactly sure.
All right, so what I'm going to do, because I think I know what this is, I'm going to pop the lid off and sprinkle it onto the wound.
Okay, so are you going to sprinkle it, or are you going to put a good amount inside of the wound?
Probably sprinkle it.
Okay, just a little sprinkle.
I think
just
I know what this is.
You know what this is.
For sure what it is.
So you sprinkle it on the wound, and your leg catches on fire, and you are now without a leg at this point. No, I'm fucking with you. That doesn't happen. You sprinkle it on the wound. you sprinkle the fine powder onto the wound, and nothing happens. You don't feel anything. Go ahead and make me an intuition test.
Intuition.
At -10.
Oh, Jesus. That's an 88.
Critical failure. It's probably good. I mean, it's surely, you did the sprinkle. That's how you season meat. That's how you preserve things. So it's fine.
All right. Let's see. Can I fashion a little tourniquet to wrap around it?
Do you have any bandages? I know some of you. I know Marius does. Do you have any?
No, I do not.
You could. I mean, if you ask Marius, he has some bandages. You could probably fashion something.
I'm gonna look angrily at Marius and point down to my leg. I'm pissed off at him, and I can't talk that well.
Use your words. Use your words, Seamus. I can't understand what you want. Yes, that's your leg.
Slap me.
What you say, friend? I wasn't quite sure I heard you.
Fuck you.
That wound doesn't look so good. I could take out the powder that I had, and I'm gonna liberally put it in his wound.
Okay.
Oh God, that probably hurts.
It hurts bad. It doesn't feel good at all. He starts stuffing. And Marius is not a gentle person. He grabs a fist. He grabs a fistful, and he just starts pushing it in. And you're like, oh God! And he just hammers it in. And then I'm assuming, do you take a bandage and wrap it, Marius?
I take a bandage and I wrap it. And I'm like, there you go, friend. There you go.
Okay.
I'm probably clenched fist right now, just biting down as hard as I can.
Yep. Oh yeah. It hurts bad, but with the liberal amount of powder used, you feel a cooling sensation in your leg, and you get the idea that the infection may have just subsided. Almost miraculously. Almost like whatever this powder is probably not natural. And that's it.
All right.
And with that, guys, I think we're going to take our first break. So we will pick up right here. So be back here in a couple minutes, and I will see you guys in a minute.
All right.